Joe, is that you with the beard?
That is me.
I'm like, who's the new guy over there? Oh, man. So, Joe, in 2004, you graduated from Harbor Fields High School after being in my classes and on my team for 4 years.
Yes.
So I actually met you in 2000. Actually, I met you in 1999 when you proclaimed that you were going to be on my team and you were going to get a college scholarship for running. And I looked down at you and tried to shoo you away. And you were having none of that.
No, not at all.
You wanted my attention.
I remember having not met you, but hearing about you down in the middle school and hearing that you were just a very nice man and that you were very approachable. My dream was to run on a D1 track team and be the best athlete that I could. And you facilitated this. I remember going through so much on my family front. And our track team really became a family. We had a bond that I have never and had never seen really.
And now you are a coach and a teacher as well. How was that journey?
When you coach, you get to know your kids on a very different level as when you are in the classroom. And even better, when you have an athlete that you have in the classroom and you also are mentoring them on the track.
Absolutely.
When you were in your position, you were bigger than, Joe, you were bigger than life for me. If there was any human on earth that I thought was actually Superman, it was you and it was both my parents.
Your parents were fantastic and are fantastic. If you're putting me in the same category as them, I feel grateful. And, as long as I can breathe and walk up and down stairs, I think I'm going to do what I can do to help somebody that's in need.
To some extent, your willingness to take on a lot, it's definitely transferred to me. I teach 5 different classes with different preps. I coach, but I also tutor through 2 different agencies and then privately as well. So sometimes I can be tutoring up to 10 students at a time outside of my coaching and teaching duties.
Right now, we're in the middle of a crisis. So the way that you teach has to change immediately. Have you been preparing? What's going on?
What we're doing right now is we're basically creating a platform on Google Classroom. To some extent, it's sad. One of the biggest rewards as a teacher that you get is that face-to-face and the smiles that you get in person. It doesn't compare to actually being in the classroom and having actual joy around you. When that light bulb goes off in my classroom, it is without a doubt the coolest thing in the world. I have one particular athlete on my team. He's got that same spark. I subbed his class for the first time his freshman year. And he had a Joe Mordarski, Joe Toles moment, only I was in the spot of Joe Toles. It was really good. Right away, I was like, oh my God, I'm Joe Toles for a moment. And he said to me, "You're the head track coach, right?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "I'm going to be a superstar." And I have told him stories about you and I, and about my experiences, and I am blessed to have the position of passing on, not to be corny, but your legacy, Joe.
Well, listen, it didn't start with me. My high school coach passed on his legacy to me, and I'm just grateful that I was able to take up the torch, so to speak, and pass it on, and really grateful to hear that it continues. I'm gonna read some words to you. Just I said a whole lot, but I'm gonna read the last part of a speech I gave when you received
that speech.
Holy moly! It's hanging up in your yes, that speech. But the last part of that said, Well, after 12 seasons of sports participation, 6 seasons as team captain, 5 All-League honors, 4 seasons as MVP, 2 seizures in Sunken Meadow Park, 1 All-County honor, and a spot on Sacred Heart's cross-country and track teams, I do see a man who has established a reputation by his acts. I see a man who is a credit to his school and sport, and I see a man who has the character of a man that I am proud to know. It is with honor that I present this year's Outstanding Male Athlete Award to Joseph Mordarski. That's where we left off on this journey, sort of the goodbye. And certainly in 8th grade, when you walked up to the front and proclaimed your destiny, it was a good fitting ending to my at least track mentorship with you. I've probably said this at the end of the seasons to the teams about how when you meet somebody, they leave an impression on you, and they become a part of you forever. It's been wonderful to gather the people that you've met along the journey, and certainly you're one of them. And I'm grateful I'm grateful for everything that you've said, but I'm also grateful, for your presence, and that you could be part of this conversation on film. And, it tells me, wow, he trusts me. Not that I had any doubt to begin with, but I appreciate that. And I want to thank you for that.
It's more than a pleasure. And just thank you for being such a great person in my life.